Welcome to Let's Connect. It is Tuesday, November 23rd, 2021, and we are here live on Facebook, YouTube, and on radio with 88.5 Sufre FM. I want to start out with a few announcements. We have a lot to inform you of this week. I want to give a shout out to Bhutan first of all, and we have two persons from Bhutan who are currently ill, and we want to wish them a speedy recovery. That is Miss Viola Cadet Gustav and Miss Monica Cadet. We were wishing you a speedy recovery coming from the Parliament Representative Honorable Emma Hippolyte. Also in Bhutan, we have a recent death, Mr. Randolph Hippolyte, who passed away on the 14th of November. We want to wish his family and friends condolences, sincerest condolences coming from all of us at the Sufre Constituency Office and, of course, from Honorable Emma Hippolyte. Also, in a brighter news, we want to wish Jacques resident Dania Gaston a happy birthday today. Wishing you happy birthday coming from your district representative, Dania Gaston. I do believe you will also be on our program next week, so we want to give you a shout out in advance. All right, and we want to give a special thanks to all the various communities of Sufre who are always supporting us. We want to touch on Diamond, Etangs, Fort Jacques, all the different communities in Fort Jacques, including Belvedere, St. Philip, and Mini Esperance. All of you guys, we want to thank you for your support. The people down at Barron's Drive, thank you so very much for always being there for us, touching base with us, always being on our live, giving your support. Thank you so very much to Barron's Drive. The people of Zeno, the people of Sulphur Springs, the people of Colabet and Bhutan, people of Palmis and Forbenier, people of New Development, Wingsville, Church Street, Town Center, the people of Boisden, special good evening to you guys down in Belfort, Chateau Belair, Montlacroix, Port-Jolib, Belle Plaine. Also, we want to touch base with Margaret Tooth, wishing you a good evening. Down to Riverside Crew, we want to give you all a big shout out, Riverside Crew, the Forbenier Passy and the Palmis Crew. Those of you down in Market Road and Smoke Hill and the Gulf, welcome to Let's Connect. Thank you for joining us. Okay, once again, Diamond, DeVille, and Etangs, and also big shout out to Fokako and Lenny's Hill. Thank you so very much for always tuning into the Let's Connect program. We thank you so very much for always staying tuned. On November 13th, the new government of St. Lucia celebrated 100 days in office. Some of our achievements over the 100 days we want to touch base on. On the 26th of July, we had an election victory. On the 9th of August, the swearing in of ministers, including Honorable Emma Hippolyte, Minister for Commerce, Manufacturing, Business Development, Cooperatives, and Consumer Affairs. We also, on the 20th, Regional Development Foundation, Sufre Marine Management Association, and there was a launch of the School Assistance Program where uniforms and books were issued in the form of vouchers to persons in need in the community. On the 31st of August, there was the first Parliament session. In September, there was a response to the natural disaster and a tour of new development the morning of the tropical depression on the 6th. Remedial work started immediately, including relocation of Wasco pipes and desilting of the ravine. Hurricane Elsa relief surveys were carried out in extent in terms of damages to roofs and infrastructure of residential buildings. In terms of health, on the 6th, we had a tour of the Sufre Hospital, and that was when the decision was taken to keep a tent outside for persons coming in for vaccination in order to ensure patient comfort and social distancing. There was also a barrel handover of PPEs, which is personal protection equipment, to the Soufrière Hospital to help staff protect themselves from COVID. This was donated by Miss Corina Edward, a Soufrière resident who now resides in Canada. The Piton management area was toured on the 10th of September with the minister responsible for sustainable development, Honorable Sean Edwards, and his team. The main objective was to impress upon management that there should be no further infractions on the pitons. On the 11th of September, the first female mayor was sworn in to the town council board among other members of the board. It is officially, I believe now, that all the members have now been appointed, including the deputy mayor. Hamper distribution also took place on the 11th. There were packages delivered to persons who are poor and needy in the constituency in response to COVID-19. On the 21st of August, the Soufrière Regional Development Foundation's board was appointed. Okay. On the 3rd of October, the SRDF assessed the product and evaluate possible revenue generating product and improvements to customer offerings. Okay. On October 8th, there was a familiarization tour of the Soufrière waterfront, agro-processing plant, that is Rainforest Foods in Fossejac, the Dewash Farm, Bellevue Co-op, and Esperance Estate with the Ambassador of Taiwan, Minister of Agriculture, and their technical teams. On the 9th of October, there was a visit to potential housing development lands in Crestland, critical to address priority number 4 of the Parliamentary Representatives' Manifesto, which was to implement an appropriate program to assist first-time buyers to own their homes in the constituency. On the 14th of October, a team visited Anchasney and Jade Mountain and held meetings with the owners as part of the parliamentary representatives' efforts to understand the tourism products offered in the constituency and to view concerns of the management team. On the 29th of October, Orlando's was visited and discussions was held with Chef Orlando in terms of his views of Soufrière's award-winning restaurant and as, of course, a member of the Soufrière Council. On the 1st of November, there was a familiarization tour of the Soufrière Community Access Center. On the 28th, there was a presentation of checks to preschools for assistance in terms of addressing economic challenges caused by COVID-19. Okay, these were some of the updates in terms of the 100 days in office. We have a few more announcements. The St. Mary's College donated 50 grocery hampers to unemployed single fathers of Soufrière as part of the observance of International Men's Day, which was observed on November 19th, 2021. The presentation took place on Monday, November 22nd at the Soufrière Mini Stadium. There has been notices of a springboard program which began a few months ago, and it is available for persons aged 17 to 30. The springboard programs are still available. There are 2 more course dates available. The first will begin on November 30th and the final one on January 11th. Okay? Persons who registered previously are asked, and if you have not received a phone call from Springboard, are asked to come back in because some of you are not being reached via the phone number that you issued. So those of you who have registered for the previous programs and have not received a call from Springboard, please come down to the Soufrière constituency office so that we may re-register you for the next course. Okay, the final, like I said, the final set of courses begin on January 11th, so you have 2 more opportunities. If you are over 30, you can still apply. However, there will be a cost of $360. The courses will return to their regular price after January 11th, and that is $1,200. So in order to take advantage of the courses now, you need to be 17 to 30 years old to access it for free. If you are over 30 years old, you pay a reduced cost of $360. Okay. Just a reminder that you are also able to call into the program this evening. I believe the numbers are on the screen. So you are able to call in with your views. You are able to call in to ask any questions. The numbers are 730-5388 That is for WhatsApp 730-5388, and for landline 459-7885. 459-7885. So if you are interested in any of the announcements in terms of the Springboard program specifically, you can feel free to call to ask any questions. Also, we are able to receive your comments via our live chat as well. So you may feel free to do so. Okay, so feel free to make your contribution. You can call, ask your questions, make a comment. We are here to listen. Also, we want to congratulate the winner of the Sufre Constituency Council's logo competition, Mr. Neil Paul. Congratulations to you, sir, on winning first place in the Sufre Constituency Council's logo competition. The next port of call for Sufre for a cruise vessel is going to be taking place on December 6th, and the vessel is the Sea Cloud 2. So the next port of call to Sufre from a cruise ship will happen on December 6th from the vessel Sea Cloud 2. There has also been notices of the Flow $20 program for internet and cable. It is still available. Applications are still being taken. If you are interested in applying to receive Flow internet and cable at $20 a month, please come down to the Sufre constituency office. This week is the final week for applications, and please come in to apply for the program. On November 13th, the Alexander Family Foundation and Events held its back to school drive at the Leisure Inn Conference Room in New Development. The back to school drive was a huge success, and at the presentation ceremony, principals from the Sufre Infant School, Sufre Primary School, and representatives from the Fossejac Primary School were presented with backpacks, stationery, and hand sanitizers to be presented to students in need at their schools, respective schools. There was also representatives to receive from districts as far as Miku. Congratulations to the Alexander Family Foundation and Events on a successful back to school drive. Okay, now let's get down to the meat of the matter of this evening's program. The Police Commissioner, Milton Daisy, has said that gangs prey upon some of the island's more vulnerable children. Criminals are targeting school children to recruit them into a life of crime. In Daisy's statement to Loop News, he has said that gangs can provide a sense of security or belonging, or a social community. On our last program, we had youth advocates who stated similar thoughts and urged parents and society to give children the care and attention they need to steer them in the right direction. Tonight, we'll be hearing from Father Setut and his views on what parents can do in order to support their children and to prevent them from going down these paths. So my first few questions to Father Setut will, in his experience, what are the best ways for parents to respond to bad behavior from children? And also, are there resources available to parents who are unable to afford therapy? So we'll go now to Father Setut.
Youth, children, parents, and family life. What are some of the best ways parents can respond to the bad behavior of their children? First of all, parents need to realize that the children need love. What most parents do is that when the children behave badly, they discipline them in a way where the children feel bad about themselves. So we should refrain from doing that. We need to see that the child is good, the boy or the girl is good, but is that we are not liking the behavior that they exhibit. So we need to realize, we need to make the differentiation between the person and the behavior. But what most parents do, they intertwine, so to speak, the behavior into the child and see the child as a very bad child, a bad boy, a bad girl. Parents need to have a relationship a rapport with the children. And in disciplining them, once that rapport is there, to be able to talk to them, to be able to sit and really be with them and help them understand the importance of discipline, the importance of correctional behavior, so that the parents can help them see the correction for the children's own well being in the future. What available sources are there for parents when they can't afford therapy in terms of remuneration and payments and that kind of a thing? In St. Lucia, we have the Department of Human Services. The director is Miss Beverly Ann Poyot. And there are several social workers, therapists who are attached to the Department of Human Services who are available in assisting parents, especially those who are not able to afford the financial part of psychotherapy. We have the Alliance of Mental Health and Psychosocial Professionals, AMHPP, care of Miss Francisca Plummer and Mrs. Romelia Dalfinis King. There are several of us who are members of this psychotherapeutic association, myself included. Although many of the professionals work and do psychotherapy as a way of living, as a form of their own income, but many of them are open in assisting parents who may not be able to afford therapy, and who would be able to work with parents on a sliding scale of cost. We also have the school counselors attached to the Ministry of Education, and the coordinator for this group, for the school counselors, is care of Mrs. Joyce Eugene. There are several counselors at the school district level and several counselors at all the secondary schools on the island, and they are under the supervision or jurisdiction of Mrs. Joyce Eugene. And they too are willing to assist parents who need help with the children.
Right. Okay, so that was Father Setut in response to assistance to parents available within the schools and within the society. We'll come back to him in a second as well. I just want to get through some of the questions in our comment section. We have another condolence message to the Charles family of Bridge Street in Soufrière. We want to extend condolences to you on the passing of Mr. Augustine Leo Charles, a former teacher of the Soufrière Girls Infant School, Ms. Justin of Palmis Road, Soufrière. So condolences to both families and to their friends as well. And we wish you all the best in these trying and difficult times. There is a question regarding the Flow $20 program. If anybody can apply, it is preferential for persons who have school-aged children in the house. So it is in order to assist with online learning. So it is, if you have school-aged children at home, even if you already have internet connection and you wish to apply, you can still do so. Persons who are unemployed, especially, and persons who are trying to get internet access in order to study and to further themselves, you are also eligible to apply. So there is a few criteria that you need to give the responses to. But when you come down to the Soufrière constituency office, there will be someone there to assist you and to collect all your information. There is also a notice. There are some books to be picked up for the Etongs Combined School. Please reach out to the members of the AFFE, that's the Alexander Family Foundation and Events, to collect those books for your school library at Etongs Combined School. Okay, so thank you very much to you. All right, let us get back into the program with Father Setut. So my next question was, what can we do as a community to encourage the parents who are struggling with disciplining their children? Okay, so Father Setut has his response.
What can we do as a community to encourage parents who are struggling with the discipline of their children? That is such a very apt question that needs to be addressed um, on a daily basis. It's important that we assist the parents. Some of them may not know what to do. Some may not know how to handle the various issues, the various behavior patterns that are exhibited in their children. I think as a community, we need to embark on some parenting skills, some sessions in parenting skills to address spiritual issues, psychological issues, emotional issues, financial issues, to address issues of family life, to assist, to help the parents to be better equipped in assisting the children. So I think the professionals, the people who are skilled in various fields professionally in the community, that we can get together in doing some sessions in parenting for the parents. I remember I embarked on such a program with some parents from Barron's Drive, and I think that went very well. We had a total of about 6 sessions on a weekly basis. Um, And I think many more parents in the community of Soufrière, Fort Jacques, and environs, that they need that kind of assistance. And it's not that we are saying that they are not capable. What we are saying is to help them in guiding them, in providing that kind of service to them.
Okay, so that was Father Setut's response in terms of what the community can do to encourage parents who are struggling with disciplining their children. So he has had some success with parents and in terms of counseling. We also have said previously that no matter what, there will always be a stigma attached with speaking with someone in terms of counseling, that there's always a fear of like he says, societal judgment. So we want to encourage persons to take advantage of these counseling opportunities available within the community. And we still urge persons to try their very best, do the research, look into matters. And also they need to remember that um, children are not copies of you. Children have their own personalities, they have their own struggles, their own internal thoughts, their own emotions. So no matter, there's no way you can 100% guarantee that what you're doing with your child is going to cause them to turn out one way or the other. So keep that in mind when dealing with children. It is a very delicate process in terms of their development state. Okay, so final question for Father Setu this evening. There are parents who suffer in silence. Is there a way for their neighbors and friends to seek help on their behalf without offending them? Okay, so Father Setu's response.
There are many parents who suffer in silence, again, because of shame, because they don't know what to do, because they have the fear of human respect, of what people will say about them, how people will look at them, how people will criticize them. And I want to say to these parents that you can come forward in confiding in professionals in the community, like myself and others, who will keep your issues, the issues of your children, the issues of your family in the strictest of confidence. I'm aware that, when people go through these family life issues, especially with the children, they are afraid to come forward because they think that, whoever they speak to will talk the business out there. And I can ascertain that there are persons around who are very confidential and who will respect the confidentiality of such families, the confidentiality of such pertinent issues in family life, and that they would really like to assist those parents.
Okay, thank you very much, Father Setut, for being able to provide us with some responses this evening. Unfortunately, he is not with us live this evening, so there was a few comments and questions towards him in the chat. One of which was, "What does the church have in store for the people of Sufre this Christmas season?" I urge our listeners and those of you in the live, especially those who attend the Catholic Church, if you have any insight into information regarding the church's intentions for the Christmas season, if you could answer the question, you can feel free to call into the program. Our landline number is 459 7885 459 7885, or you can contact us on WhatsApp at 730-5388. So you may answer the questions that Father is unable to do so because he's not with us in studio live this evening. He was unable to be here with us. We also have another question. Does Sufre have counselors assigned to the community? Persons within the community, I urge you to send in your responses. If you are aware of any maybe government issued counselors or anyone's assigned to maybe the schools that have access to students and parents, please let us know in the comments in our live, or you can feel free to call us on WhatsApp 730-5388, also landline 459-7885. Okay, we also have a question regarding our topic, which I also will be putting to our listeners. Are there technology-based tools that any parent can access without having to inform another individual of their situation? So that is in terms of getting help without fear or persecution from peers. I I personally do not know of any that currently exist. I do believe there are certain ways, in especially since the advent of COVID, where you can sign up for an online therapist. I'm not sure if they're available via payment or not. So we have another comment. That is the for okay. So another person sharing the sentiment that people don't want to speak to others because they don't feel that they can be trusted. When you share a personal problem with them, they go beating their flappers everywhere. So that is one of the things we're hoping to counteract. So we are trying to provide our parents with alternative solutions in order to be able to handle the situations at home with their children and those experiencing behavioral problems. Once again, the number to call on our landline 459-7885, WhatsApp 730-5388. I'm hoping we can take a short break while persons gather their thoughts, maybe do a bit of research and get back to us with your comments regarding the church and their offerings for Christmas, as well as any technology based tools for parents. Welcome back to Let's Connect on 88.5 Sufra FM. We are continuing with last week's topic where we dealt with youth and crime. And this week we want to be able to offer some solace to our parents who are listening, parents who are dealing with children with disciplinary problems. So we've had a few questions we've left hanging, one of which was, are there technological based tools that any parent can access without having to inform another individual of their situation? That is, in terms of getting help without fear or persecution from peers. I'm wondering if our organizations such as the wellness homes and the boys training center, if these places have any outreach programs where they can reach out to the parents of their current wards and maybe give them some sort of assistance in terms of parenting skills, coping skills, persons who have access to smartphones, who have access to internet, who have access to. Remember, we spoke last week and said that when you have access to a smartphone, you have the world at your fingertips, Google, YouTube, where you can search for numerous tools and get something that can help you specifically. Okay, so we also spoke a little bit about persons who are hesitant in terms of reaching out because they're fearful that their information will be leaked out for any reason or that persons will get to know about their situation. So these are some of the things we have been looking at. I urge those of you who are able to send your comments into the chats, send your thoughts. We have our landlines available. The number is on the screen. WhatsApp 730-5388. You can feel free to call in and speak with us about your thoughts, or you can give your personal testimony on things that have occurred in your specific community. We want to say thank you to those of you in the chat room who are giving your contributions. We would definitely appreciate it. And we also want to reach out to those of you on radio who are unable to call in. We know that some persons do not have the capability, but we also urge you, do not be shy. Please let us know your thoughts. Let us know how you maybe deal with your children's bad behavior. I recently saw a very creative system developed by a parent where she has almost like a store in her pantry, and the children get rewarded for doing their chores, cleaning up after themselves, but they also lose points for bad talking, missing school, any if they have infractions, and so they earn a certain amount of play money, which they can use to shop in the store. So the store is full of snacks, junk food, chocolate, even accessories because she has teenagers. So accessories like bags and things like that, and even phone time, access to the remote to watch your own show for a certain amount of time. So, for example, if you wanted to watch your TV for 2 hours, there was a fee of 500 of the play money. So, in order to earn $500 in your play money, you had to maybe take out the trash for the whole week, or clean your room the whole week, or be kind to your sister, things like that. It was very interesting to see, and I saw it on TikTok. So the videos are out there, the information is out there, the information is at your fingertips. We urge parents to use social media, use what is available to you, use ask about. There are persons you can the same persons you are able to go to and have a drink at the bar and speak about the latest lucky free numbers. You can speak to those same persons and maybe they can offer you some ideas on how they manage their children, or maybe direct you to somebody that can offer you counseling. So do not be afraid to speak out. We urge you. Those of you in the comments, we want to thank you once again. We may have to call it, I don't want to say call it quits this evening, but our participation level this evening is rather low. I urge those of you paying attention to the show, if you can call in on the landline 459-7885 to contribute to the program. Let us know what your thoughts are on Father Setut's responses to the questions. Let us know how you discipline your children. Let us know about the situation you experienced. Also, you can call us on WhatsApp 730-5388. Can I see the live stream, please? If there are any more comments. Okay. All right. Well, I think we shall say good night. We have a note that there is a district councillor for Suffer named Mr. Stephen, and his office, I do believe that is at the SSDF office, which is at the Peter Management Office on Victoria Street, opposite Miss Sandra's boutique. I have definitely directed a few persons there in terms of welfare cases for children. So that is definitely another outlet. Thank you so very much, Mr. Albert, for your contribution. Okay. Anyone else would like to comment? We urge you to get on our live feed, both on Facebook and YouTube. I'm definitely checking out the comments. So if you have any contribution that you cannot make in person on air, or you're too shy to call into the program, we are reading out your comments live on air. Can we check the YouTube feed? Switch. Okay. All right, then I guess no more comments this evening. We'll end earlier than usual. And next week we will have a show full of young entrepreneurs from Sufre who will be coming on to speak about their various occupations and what they're providing services to the community. So tune in next week. We have about 8 of them coming in to speak about their business. So it will definitely be a very interesting show. Until then, you've been listening to Let's Connect on 88.5 Super FM. I'm your host, RENEATA DUSAUZAY. Next week, tune in for our Young Entrepreneurs Show. Thank you so much.